Magic, we have visual.
Now 1 0, range 12, elevation 36, and 4, target 115, range 11, elevation 33, back 20. Flight 78, target 110, range 14, elevation 31, back 20. And 4, bring 6 down. That has the off the back, northwest, south mile Irish, west out. 19, bring up 1, 0, 5 miles, back west. Target 1, 0, range back southwest. Target 1, 5, range back southwest. Range up 140, 5 miles. F-16 position. Red line 940, use track number aircraft at my 19 for 16. 94, track number 4025. Red 78, 111 for 9. Mike 78, track number 5461, 541. 90, target over Port I, track west, south inbound. 90, target 10, range 7, elevation 1 track. Red 78115 for 17. 78, track number 6404, 6404, Fox 5. 77 over Port site, track west, altitude. Red 9019 TN. Mike 90, track number 54254, Fox 16. Mike 771 to 90, tracking west, mean altitude. 7731 to 95, range 9, Hogak west. Go ahead, 9 okay. Mike 77 bring them down for 2 minutes, 77 bring them down. 37 copy, 2. Target now 215, range 14, elevation 7, track east. Okay, 9, and bring it up, target 225, range 14, elevation 2, track east. 990, track number 2. Mike 90, track number 54654, 31.
Okay guys, here's the TAC view for that little battle. So a couple of things to talk about here. The F-16C has major advantages over my Mirage, right? I'm carrying two Magic 2s, which are heat-seeking missiles equivalent to the F-16 Sidewinders, and I'm only carrying two Super 530s, which are semi-active missiles, equivalent to a Sparrow. Now the F-16 is not carrying any Sparrows. He's got two Sidewinders, two AMRAAM-Cs, and two AMRAAM-Bs. So he's carrying a far more capable payload than me for taking out targets at long range. So realistically, if I want to survive this, I need a different strategy. I can't go head on with an F-16, right? Now, one of the advantages of my Mirage is my very powerful engines, right? So I don't know if you remember, but in the beginning of the video, I was like glancing out of the cockpit towards this area. I was trying to find gaps and valleys that I wanted to dip into because I was going to use the terrain to mask myself, right? You always want to come up with your plan before a missile is fired at you. You never want to have a missile fired at you and then you're trying to figure out how to plan, right? That's how you end up getting killed. So this battle is very much a David versus Goliath battle, in my opinion. I'm the David, right? He's the Goliath. So first thing that happens here is at about 40 kilometers, he fires off his AMRAAM. He gives me an AMRAAM B, the B variant. So immediately I brake left, I nose down, and I'm going to go for that spot in the mountain that I found. right? I'm using my powerful Mirage engines. I'm full afterburner, and I'm literally just going to try to outrun the AMRAAM and all the subsequent ones that come afterwards. So I'm going to try to use my advantage of a powerful engine against his weapons. Alright. So first thing I do is a full 180-degree turn, which for the first AMRAAM is more than enough. This thing is not going to be able to catch me. You can see I'm pretty low to the ground here. Right. Using that terrain masking, I know I'm safe from this AMRAAM. Alright. And at this point, once I know I'm safe from that one, I pull up. And the reason I do that is because I want to entice him into firing more of his AMRAAMs. Because I'm in a good situation here. I was fairly low to the ground. I had good energy. And so I come up to see if I can entice him into firing another missile. And meanwhile, as I do that, I try to just get nose on him, just because I'm like, if I can manage to put the nose on him and get a missile off at him, why not, right? So I start to do a full 180 turn here to try to get my nose on him, and he ends up firing a second AMRAAM in this situation, which is great for him. It's a good position for him to fire it, right? So immediately, and he breaks right after he does that, his AMRAAM's coming Mach 2.8, 2.7. I obviously make a decision that I don't have much time to react, so I gotta brake. Right, I'm gonna brake left, and I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the first one. 180 degree in the other direction. I'm gonna nose down and try to use the terrain for cover. Alright, that F-16 came back from his brake because he knows that I went defensive, so he's trying to get back on my 6 here. His AMRAAM is not going to catch me. Way too fast. There's that Mirage power on display for you. Alright, so now you can see those first two missiles were fired at about 40 kilometers and then 30 kilometers. We're down to 21.9 kilometers now. So all of a sudden these AMRAAMs are going to start getting real dangerous at this point. They're going to get harder and harder to outrun. Alright, so here we go. At this point, like, I know I'm looking back and I can see his contrail, and I know he's way too close for me to want to pull up, knowing that he's got 2 more AMRAAMs for me to pull up, right? So I'm going to stick to the ground relatively low, high enough that I can entice him into firing another one, but low enough that if he does, I can run away. Right, there's that one. This one's a C variant, AMRAAM C, coming in Mach 3. And there was a little bit of a delay here, if you remember, and that is because the top of my plane is pointed this way. The RWR is not picking it up, right? So I didn't get the tone till it was kind of late. I get the tone, so I nose down and I start, flying for the ground. Full burner this entire time. That AMRAAM looks like it's tracking. I couldn't see it. I was looking for it, but I couldn't see it. And look at how close it comes. Very close. Oh yeah, and look at that. So apparently the the Mirage can go through the ground. It's one of its new features. I don't know if you guys knew that it could do that, but yeah, it can go through mountains. Alright, so there he goes. He goes through that mountain. That AIM 120C ends up not being able to catch me, although it was close. It was close right there. Alright, so here we go. I don't actually know how close this guy came, and he's already got a second AMRAAM off at me. And he fires that at 12.5 kilometers. Okay, so that right there is a very dangerous distance to have an AMRAAM fired at you. That's pretty much a kill. Now, the only reason I'm not dead is because I didn't have to turn around. I'm already 180 degrees the opposite direction, hauling ass, right? And so that AMRAAM's going to come in. I'm still full burner, and watch this. Look at this. At 11 kilometers, the Mirage is able to outrun an AMRAAM. That is something I thought I'd never see. Look at that. That's incredible. At 11 kilometers, at full burner, the Mirage can outrun an AMRAAM. So, anyway, at this point, I figure out that he's probably out of AMRAAMs. I know he had 4. I'm taking a bet here. I'm not entirely sure how many he's got left. But I'm fairly certain that he's out of AMRAAMs. I'm going to take a bet here. And what I'm going to do is go vertical and try to turn around at him. Right? My original plan was, now that he's down to just Sidewinders, was to try to get some distance from him and, you know, come back around and hit him with the Super 530s. But as you can see, I'm unable to outrun him. Right? He's still closing. He's at 8 kilometers. He was at 11. He was at 22, 33, 40. Right? So he keeps closing on me. And I'm looking up at that contrail, and I'm knowing that I'm not going to be able to outrun this guy. So my original plan is kaput, right? So what I do, I just have to make a call. And that's going to be that this is the distance that I like, and I'm going to turn around 180, and I'm going to go and try to hit him with a Magic 2, right? That's what I figure. Now, in order to avoid his Sidewinders, I start popping flares and H.A.F because I don't know how to use the Mirage yet. So I'm full countermeasures, flare and H.A.F going up, right? And I'm going up towards him, and I'm dropping the countermeasures just in case he drops, fires off a Sidewinder at me. And what's interesting here is if you look at, let's look at him. If you look at him, the second that he finds out what's going on, because he sees me turning, and he sees those flares and H.A.Fs coming off, right? This is where he figures out that what the plan is, right? This is where he figures it out. And he's like, oh shit. So you can see he drops his tanks here, right? That he waited the entire time until now to drop his fuel tanks, right? So he finally drops them, but he can't get a nose on at me. You know, his nose is pointing over here somewhere, and I'm already nose hot on him. And for that little mistake, it was a split-second mistake, right? Split second. He's going to take a Magic 2 at Mach 2.8. And he's done. Righto. So that is how that's the story of how the Greek Mirage took out the Israeli F-16. And unfortunately, no pilot ejection again. No shoot. So that's going to be the 3rd dogfight in a row now where the pilot has been killed. Sad stuff. Alright guys, so that's going to be the dogfight for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.